Breaking news. There has been an incident at Donald Trump's Pennsylvania rally. It appears shots have apparently been fired and Donald Trump has been injured.
It is a sad, sad day for America. It is hard to find the words to describe the shock and the horror that people are feeling right now. This horrific act has just deepened an already huge divide in the United States.
We've never been here before. We've never been at the point where neither option is good for us. Division divides. There's no way around that. All division divide. Yeah, your team got an offense and a defense. They're not supposed to be enemies. The enemy is the other side. Well, you can't do politics like that.
They found the footage. Katt Williams actually predicted the attempt on Donald Trump's life years before it happened. Not in some vague prophecy, not in a random rant, but straight up clear as day on camera.
What can I say?
Rachel Scott Forrest, thank you.
I predicted this yesterday.
Quickly before I let you go here.
I predicted this. I knew it. I felt it in my spirit. Something finna go down.
The question is, did Katt really see it coming, or is this just another wild coincidence turned viral? Either way, the footage has people shook. Let's jump right in. If you've been following Katt Williams lately, you know he's been on fire. From exposing Hollywood secrets to calling out fake friends, Katt's been saying things most people are too scared to whisper. But this one is different, because in this resurfaced clip, Katt isn't joking. He's sitting down, serious tone, saying, y'all think it's all fun, and games till they come for the wrong one. When power starts shaking, somebody gonna make a move.
Do it. Trump don't give up. Trump sent off 50 missiles to Syria while he was in his bathroom.
And now, after that shocking attempt on Trump's life, people are replaying that footage over and over saying, wait, Katt warned us. He knew. See, what makes it wild isn't just that Katt said it, it's how he said it. The man was calm, like he'd already seen the script. You can hear it in his voice.
Even in the beginning when our Constitution was drawn up, the two parties was not what they had in mind.
He wasn't joking. He wasn't performing. It was like he was giving a warning nobody wanted to hear. He said, they don't just let power change hands easy. Somebody always pays for it. And fans are now connecting the dots, like he predicted the chaos around Trump's rise and fall years before it started. Now, to understand why this clip has people so locked in, you gotta understand who Katt Williams really is. He's not just a comedian, he's a truth teller wrapped in a joke. He's been talking about industry secrets, political corruption, and hidden agendas for years. From calling out elites to exposing Hollywood gatekeepers, Katt's never been afraid to step on toes. That's why people listen when he speaks.
Some of us are against the Illuminati, and we are against the Illuminati at our own detriment.
The Illuminati. Chances are you've probably seen one of the symbols associated with them. Pentagrams, goats, even the all-seeing eye that's found on US.
I am in no way, shape, or form a Trump fan. But some of y'all gotta knock it off with this conspiracy. It was staged, it was staged.
Because half the time, his jokes turn out to be real life later. So when people dug up this old footage and heard him predicting violence, it hit different.
They even created a rule book which stated that the order of the day is to put an end to the machinations of the purveyors of injustice.
Jay-Z really in the Illuminati? Is Donald Trump? Is Katy Perry?
Because Katt has a track record of being early, way too early, on things that come true. The clip itself, that's what made this explode online. In the video, Katt's sitting in a small studio. No audience, no laugh track, just him, a mic, and that stare. He says, when you put a man in power who don't play by the rules, the system panics. And when the system panics, it starts doing what it's always done, eliminate the problem. Now, at the time, people thought he was just talking in general, like a metaphor about politics. Nobody thought it meant Trump specifically. But now, after the attempt on Trump's life, that clip sounds like a prophecy, word for word. Twitter, Reddit, TikTok, they're all going crazy over it. Clips of the video are everywhere. People are saying, Katt warned us, he said this years ago. They laughed at him, but he was right. And what's crazier? Some are saying that's not the only clip. Apparently, there are multiple moments in Katt's old stand-up routines and interviews where he talks about assassination attempts, corrupt power, and America eating its own leaders. One from 2018 went viral too, where he said, when the truth gets too loud, they silence the messenger. Always have, always will. And people are stitching that together with his Trump warning like pieces of a puzzle. Now, let's be real. Katt's always walked that line between genius and chaos. One moment he's cracking jokes about relationships. The next he's talking about CIA projects and shadow governments. That's why fans love him, because he says what others won't. But that's also why people call him crazy. And now that this prediction has come back to light, it's reignited that old debate. Is Katt Williams a visionary or a man who just sees patterns in the storm? Let's break this down. If Katt did predict this, that would mean he saw the violence around Trump coming years in advance, back when most people thought politics was just theater. Remember, Trump came into power as an outsider. He flipped the system. He said things nobody else would. And from the start, the hate for him was loud. Half the country loved him. The other half wanted him gone. So when Katt said they don't let power change hands easy, it sounded like just another political joke back then. But now it feels like he was pointing straight at what's happening today. Fans are split. Some say this is proof Katt's plugged in, that he knows more than he lets on. They believe he's connected to insiders, that he's been warned about what's coming, and that his comedy has always been coded truth. Others say it's coincidence, that Katt's always talking about violence and politics, and eventually something he said was bound to match up with real events. But what nobody can deny is that Katt's words hit harder now than ever before. Let's rewind to that footage again. After his "they'll make a move" comment, Katt looked right at the camera and said, "Don't ever think they won't touch a president. Ask Lincoln, ask Kennedy." History repeats itself when nobody listens. And the way he said it, low tone, serious, it sent chills down people's spines. Because think about it. How many comedians stop a joke halfway to drop a line like that? That wasn't entertainment. That was a message. And now that people are revisiting that clip, something else weird is happening. It's disappearing and reappearing online. Some users say the original video got deleted after going viral. Others claim they re-uploaded it from old archives. There's even talk that some versions have audio cut out, like someone's trying to scrub parts of it. Whether that's true or not, it's adding fuel to the fire, because when people think something's being erased, they believe it even more. Now, here's where it gets even deeper. People started analyzing the date of the clip, and they say it was recorded in late 2015, right before Trump's first big presidential campaign started making noise. That's almost a full year before he was elected, and Katt was already warning that somebody's going to make a move when power shifts. That timing, too perfect to ignore. So either Katt Williams is one of the luckiest guessers alive, or he's been tapped into something the rest of us can't see. But why would Katt Williams even talk about Trump in the first place? That's the thing. He's always had a strange relationship with politics. He's never claimed a side. He clowns everybody. Democrats, Republicans, media, all of them. To him, it's not about red or blue, it's about power and deception. He once said in an interview, "Y'all think these politicians run the country? Nah, they're just actors in front of a real director." That's what's got people spinning now. Because if he really sees the world as a big show, then maybe he saw the next act before it happened. But here's the thing people forget. Katt's been through it. He's been arrested, blackballed, silenced, mocked, yet every time he bounces back. And each time he comes back with a message. He said on Club Shay, "They can't kill me because I'm telling the truth. You can't kill a messenger that's already delivered." And now that line's hitting different, because if he did predict what just went down, then maybe he's not just a comedian anymore. Maybe he's something else, a man speaking truths too real for the mainstream. Of course, not everybody's buying it. Some media outlets have already called this a reach. They're saying the footage is being twisted to fit the story, that Katt was talking about violence in politics in general, not Trump specifically. But that hasn't stopped the internet from believing it, because when it comes to Katt Williams, people want to believe he's more than a comic. They want to believe he's the one who sees what's coming while everyone else is asleep. And maybe he is. The wild part, even Katt himself hasn't commented on the footage since it resurfaced. No denial, no confirmation, nothing. And that silence, that's what's got people whispering the most, because Katt's never been the type to stay quiet. If it wasn't true, he'd be clowning everybody by now. But the fact that he's letting this rumor breathe, that's making folks think maybe there's some truth behind it. Meanwhile, the clip keeps spreading. is getting millions of views, remixes, breakdowns, reactions, people slowing it down, analyzing every word, every look. Some say they see fear in his eyes. Others say it's calm acceptance, like he knew something bad was coming, but couldn't stop it. That's the energy this footage carries. It doesn't feel like a joke. It feels like a warning. Now, whether Katt Williams predicted anything or not, one thing's for sure. He's got people thinking about power, about politics, about how the world works when the cameras turn off. Because maybe this isn't about Trump at all. Maybe this is about the system itself. About how every time somebody shakes it too hard, somebody else steps in to silence them. And maybe that's what Katt's been trying to tell us this whole time. If you've been watching his interviews lately, he's been saying it clearer than ever. The truth ain't comfortable. It's supposed to make you question everything. That's why they hate me. And now, this prediction might be proof that he's been seeing patterns all along, that his comedy's never been random. It's coded truth dressed up as laughter. And maybe, just maybe, we weren't listening close enough until now. So what's next? If more footage pops up, the internet's gonna lose it. Because if Katt's got even one more clip that connects to this, even a little, it'll cement him as one of the most prophetic voices in pop culture. But it'll also raise new questions. Who else knows? What else did he predict? And what's coming next? Because Katt's always said, I don't make stuff up, I just talk about what's about to happen. And if that's true, we might want to start paying closer attention to every word he says from here on out. So whether you believe in prophecy or coincidence, whether you think Katt Williams is a visionary or just a comedian who got lucky, one thing's undeniable. He said it before it happened. And that alone is enough to shake people, because maybe the real reason they tried to bury that footage is because it proved that sometimes the loudest truth comes from the people the world calls crazy. What do you think? Did Katt Williams really predict the attempt on Trump's life? Or is this just another case of the internet connecting dots that don't fit? Either way, this story's far from over. Because when it comes to Katt, every clip feels like a message, and every message feels like a warning. This is buzz and drama, where the truth hides between the jokes and the headlines. Never tell the full story. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Because if there's more to this Katt Williams prophecy, you already know we'll be the first to break it down. See you on the next one.